Hello friends, how are you? So today we are going to read another story that has been taken from your book Marigold Class 4 NCERT, and the name of the story is Alice in Wonderland. Yes. So to get to the story you have to open your book Marigold Book 4 NCERT and turn to page number 66. Okay. So let's see who is Alice and what is this wonderland? Where is she? So let's start the story. Alice in Wonderland. So if we look at this picture, we can see a big rabbit with an umbrella and a clock. Can you see the watch in the rabbit's hand? Yes. So I can see an umbrella and I can also see a girl running behind the rabbit, and they're running in a meadow. You remember we learned the word meadow? Meadow means a land full of grass. So Alice in Wonderland. Let's start the story. One day, Alice was lying under a tree listening to her sister reading a story. So, apparently, this girl, her name is Alice, and she was lying under a tree and she was listening to her sister reading a story. And you know what happened? Suddenly, she saw a white rabbit scamper by. He had pink eyes and was wearing a blue coat. So, they are describing this rabbit. See, he has pink eyes and a blue coat. He took out a big watch from his waistcoat pocket, and as he hurried away, he said, "Oh dear, I will be too late." So this rabbit picked out this watch from his waistcoat, and he said, "Oh dear, I'll be too late." So he was hurrying and he was in a rush. He wanted to reach somewhere. So Alice thought there was something very different about this rabbit. It could talk. It wore a red waistcoat and it carried a watch. So yes, this is a very fascinating rabbit, right? Because he's wearing clothes, he can talk like human beings, and he's wearing a waistcoat, a red waistcoat, which has a watch, and he's also carrying an umbrella. So it is a very weird, fascinating rabbit. So what did Alice do? Alice wondered, a talking rabbit? A rabbit who wears a waistcoat? Alice was burning with the curiosity and she followed the white rabbit. So in this picture, this part has been described that Alice started following the rabbit. So now we know who is Alice, and she is following a very fascinating rabbit who can talk and who wears a waistcoat. The rabbit started running and Alice followed the rabbit. So the rabbit started running. The rabbit suddenly popped down a large rabbit hole. See, where did the rabbit go? Into a large rabbit hole. Alice jumped into the rabbit hole too. In this picture we can see that Alice jumped as well. The rabbit went down and down and down and down into the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole was so big. So he went down and down and down and down. Alice said aloud, "Where am I? How many miles down have I fallen?" So now Alice was worried that where has she come? So now when she was worrying, she thought to herself that I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. She wondered. So she wondered that she has come so down that it should be somewhere near the center of the earth. Will I slip through the earth to the other side? So she thought that if she keeps on going down, she'll slip through the other side. Can this happen? Let's see what will happen. Alice landed on a pile of dry leaves. She looked around quickly and suddenly saw the white rabbit again. So she looked around and saw the white rabbit again. It disappeared, saying, "Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting." So he was still in a hurry. Alice stood up and saw a small door about 15 inches high. Oh, this is so small. Alice is so big than the small door. It was too small for her to go through. Obviously, 15 inches is so small. She saw a glass table with a golden key on it. Ooh, she tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her delight, it fitted. Alice opened the door and looked into the loveliest garden she had ever seen. See, here is Alice, and she can see the loveliest garden with lots and lots of flowers and a fountain, and it is the most beautiful thing she had ever seen, the loveliest thing she had ever seen. How she longed to be among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. She wanted to get out of the door and come here and be in this beautiful garden. But she could not even get her head through the doorway. The doorway was so small that she was not even able to fit her head in this doorway and come through. So how will she come properly through this? And now she said to herself, "Oh, how I wish I could become smaller," she exclaimed loudly. So now she wishes to be smaller so that she could fit through the doorway and see those beautiful flowers and live among those only. So this story has been adapted from the fantasy story Alice in Wonderland that has been written by Lewis Carroll. So if you want to read the whole story, you can buy this book and read the whole story. For now, we will read it until this part only. So, did you like the story at the adventure of Alice? I really liked it. So, we'll meet next time with another fun activity, poem or a story. Until then, bye-bye.